Aloha and welcome to part one of our fermentation special. Today we will be discussing fermentation concepts and a few personal fermentation fucking disasters we've had. Enjoy. Aloha, everybody, and welcome from me, 420 Chili Sash, from my boy up there. You can see the lovely Tom. Hello, Tom. Head honcho of White Whale Hot Sauces, all the way over in Eindhoven in the Netherlands. And welcome to this episode of Experts and Idiots. Now, today, we got something very interesting for you, haven't we, Tom?
Oh, definitely.
Definitely. Because Tom is the expert today, and I am definitely the lazy ass non-expert. Oh, Tom is half an expert. I see. I see. Well, you see, because I'm sitting here with a couple of white whale sauces right now. Here's the chipolache, here's the lemon hello. You can see both of them available at the Chili Lounge. Super duper sauces. Kudos to you, my boy, over there in the Netherlands. And what's cool about these two sauces is these are both fermented hot sauces. Now, that's what we have for you today. You've probably seen lots of people like to ferment hot sauces. I think about people like sriracha, which is a partially fermented hot sauce, or Tabasco, which I believe is a completely fermented hot sauce. Could be wrong about that. Tom?
Mostly, yeah, completely.
About right, isn't it? Yeah.
That's the thing.
And fermentation, that's where we are today. Fermentation takes a long time. It's very complicated. And for some reason, some people, like this lovely man up there, not just love it, but become rather talented at it and make really cool stuff from it. And so that's what we want to give you a little info on today. A Bernie journey through the world of fermentation. How do you do it? Why do you do it? What's the point of it? And is it fun or is it boring? That's the way to look at it. And of course, you've got a couple of chili heads here. I'd call myself a chili head. You call yourself a chili head, Tom?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I've seen him chew down a lot of chili. He's definitely a chili head. He'd be lying if he said no. So you got a couple of chili heads here. So we decided to have a little burn session whilst we are looking at this stuff. Now, my weapon of choice, my favorite weapon of choice, is there you can see it, Candy Floss Hindenburg chili extract. That's Candy Floss. Lovely. That's Carolina Reaper, the hottest chili in the world. Also lovely. And a shit ton of pain. That's my weapon of choice today. Tom, what is your weapon of choice?
I'm going the opposite and getting a super mild green hot sauce made of jalapenos. I'm actually going to be releasing this soon, so I guess you can see from my reaction what we got here.
Oh, if you're going to be releasing it soon, you have to tell the lovely people a little bit about that sauce. Come on. If it's okay.
Well, it's just a green sauce, salsa verde with some tequila and kiwi instead of tomatillos. Very fruity, very nice.
In fact, I think some time ago you might have even sent me a sample taster of a kiwi sauce. Is that the one that's related to?
Yep.
Ha! It's a small world, the chili world, full of small people like me. But Tom's not so small, so there you go. But okay, let's get burning, shall we? Normally, I go per drop with mine. I'm going with the personal stash today. I'm going per spoon. Tom, were you chugging or you got a spoon?
Oh, I'm chugging.
Oh, I love it. Dirty but wonderful. Well, I've not eaten anything today, so I'm ready for this shit. Super ready. Let's go. Wow. All right. Oh, that never gets any easier. Easier. Really does. Oh, excuse me. I do apologize. I'm an Englishman. We're not supposed to do that in public, you know. Ah. So, Tom, just so that, excuse me. Whoa. Whoa. Just so I will be able to say a sentence very, very soon. Give me a second. Just so the lovely people know out there in television land, what is fermentation? What is happening when you ferment something?
Fermentation is, as far as I know, the like a chemical process that happens when there's no air involved. So in an anaerobic environment, they can hot sauces are usually done with lactofermentation, which is a bacteria. But you can do it with molds and fungus and a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah. So
you sticking mold in your hot sauce?
No, with hot sauce, but other stuff was fermented. You can use mold for it.
Ah, like cheese? Is that fermented also?
For example, yeah.
Aha. So here comes my big question. So we have done a fermented hot sauce here at 420 Chili. Midnight hot sauce. It's called. We do it every now and then, but it's called midnight because that's when I tend to produce it. You know, and takes fucking ages. Loads of logistics, loads of work. 8-month ferment time on that, and then all the processing work with the thing. What's the point of all that? Why bother to ferment a hot sauce? Why?
Well, it's mostly what I do for flavor, because you're turning all of the sugars and all of the starches into lactic acid, which is like way more delicate than a vinegar or another acid. So you're adding a whole bunch of flavor. It's almost like umami-like flavor, and it helps with the pH, so you don't have to add as much vinegar.
Okay. Well, for those of you who don't know out there, oh, excuse me, I'm dying. Hot sauce community know what he means about the pH. Just FYI, we try and take the pH in our hot sauces down to 4, maybe 3.5, could be even lower. Makes it shelf stable and holds everything together nicely. So how do you do that shit then? Tell the lovely people. So what are the steps in the fermentation process, Tom?
Well, what I do is depends actually. In lemon hello, I will just ferment the peppers. So I just cut up the peppers, make them nice and clean. Submerge them in a brine, just some water with 2.5% salt. And just make sure that they keep below the water, because everything above the water might get a bit funky. And just put them away in a nice dark and cool corner. Wait, let nature do its magic.
So that's your methodology for lemon hello, and for chipolache, do you use a different method?
Basically the same, but add way more ingredients. So the entire sauce is more fermented than just one ingredient.
Now, methods and techniques. You're talking there about essentially getting a bunch of ingredients, chucking them in a glass, putting a bunch of brine in there and other bits and pieces, and leaving it. Is that the only way to ferment stuff?
No, you can make a mash, which is to me an unholy abomination, but people like to do it. It's just get your peppers all mashed up like lily puree, then just add salt and put it away just the same way. But yeah, because you're not adding the water and keeping everything submerged, there's for me at least a little bit more risk of stuff going wrong. Plus you have the product.
I've got an almost religious hatred of chili mash, I have to say. For me, it was because of a specific incident. The first cook I ever did, I needed Reapers. Carolina Reapers are the hottest chili in the world in the Guinness World Record book. And there was no fresh Reapers available to me. It was very hard to get dried Reapers. Actually, the only Reapers I could get ordered were a Reaper mash. for my very first cook. And I had to get the cook done because I had a bunch of food trucks waiting for my hot sauce to sample it. Maybe they would buy it, and then I would manage to sell some products in my first time. So I ordered a bunch of mash made from Reaper, and I think I had like 8 glasses of that stuff. Set myself up to do my cook on a Friday. My delivery date was Monday. That was when I had the meeting, and did my cook, or went to do my cook on a Friday at a dear friend's kitchen around about 8 p.m., 7 p.m. when the kitchen was closed in Germany, in Bavaria. And I opened the first glass of mash. And the same thing happened with that happened with all of the glasses of mash, which was there was something wrong with the ferment in there. There was a pressure buildup. And that, I think it was like a 1 liter glass of Carolina Reaper mash. I opened it like that, and it blew up in my face. It blew Carolina Reaper mash into my eyes, up my nose, filled my mouth up. It was in my ears. It was in my clothing. It was awful. And I tried to get it off as best as possible, but I couldn't get it all off, and my head kind of swelled up. So I had like one eye that I could see through, breathing through one hole in my breathing system because I've inhaled all this fucking mash. And the problem was I knew I had to get the cook on, and there was no way for me to delay it. And so I only had one option, which was I needed more peppers. About 8 o'clock at night, and I knew of a farm in Maastricht, which is in the Netherlands, not in Germany, where I might be able to get some peppers. So I got in the car and I drove 4 hours to Maastricht with only able to see through one eye and breathe through one hole in my lungs. And I arrived at the farm at like fucking midnight, 1 a.m, banged on the door. I need help. And the farmer was like, I can see that. I'll call an ambulance. And I was like, no, I need chilies. And yeah, that's why I hate mash. Hate it. But then we talk about different ways of fermentation.
So that was part 1. Tune in next week for part 2, where we'll be looking at different ways to ferment stuff.